There we go. There we go. Look at me. Showing up with my requisite hoodie and black t-shirt. Good morning, good morning. There we go. Oh, thank you for notifying my viewers that I'm going live. Hey, Cher Bear and Cindy Hall, I just saw your names pop up. Welcome. If you want to hang out, that's cool. If you're just scooting on, if you're just oozing on by, no big deal too. And Barbara, Mama Chef, Spreading Sunshine, nice to see you. Hi, dude. Be more, be less. I love it. It's crazy. I'm getting to that point in my coaching season where I'm seeing some of my clients I'm not seeing until the next year. Mary, hello, I'm waving to you, and Holly and Mel and Manatee and all sorts of folks. I am back. I was gone yesterday. I feel so much better. I felt lousy for a while. I was having a procedure, as many of you know. Everything is fine. Kat Roby, nice to see you. And Gigi Gina, I love it. It's so nice to be on the other side of the stuff that you're dreading. Now, I say this having just gotten a colonoscopy. I don't gatekeep. But man, it's the same thing about clutter. Oh, Shanana, nice to see you. Very cool. It feels so good to have something you were dreading just done so you don't have to think about it for a while yet. So I offer this to you from my own personal perspective, taking care of my body, feeling good. Yes, Ocean Anna, thank you. I am feeling well. It is a delight to eat some solid food. I got some really good sleep. And I will share with you guys, I totally, as the Scots would say, I totally herkle-durkled yesterday like nobody's business. I got some really good sleep and I allowed myself the chance to rest. And one of the things that helped me do that was knowing that I had kind of scheduled out my days from now, between now and Christmas, so that I was feeling good about the things I needed to get done, but that I had factored in some time to get those things done. Hey, Clara, nice to see you. So I am feeling good. So I will share this with you. Getting things on your calendar, things that you want to do and things you have to do, just gives you peace of mind that you don't have to worry about making time to get stuff done, because you already have made the time to do it, because you have put it on that all-important piece of paper on your or what do I want to say? Not just paper, but digitally. So it's depending upon what calendar you use, but writing the stuff down, game changer, people. Sharing it with people, writing it down to yourself, even typing it in a comment is writing it down, is creating a path between where you are now and where you want to be. A destination, if you will. Now, those of you who show up for my TikTok lives often, and I do these TikTok lives often, except for when I don't, is you'll notice that Kat Roby uses this process like nobody's business. So Kat is always like, hey, yo. So she's like, hey, I'm going to declare my destination, SBB to the home. There we go. Scheduled Beth Blinders. I love it when things turn into an acronym. To the home, tidying and putting away laundry and making mental space for the day. Updates to come. So I ask you, let's be a bit of Kat Roby today. And in the time that I'm here doing this Destination Decluttered, what would you like to accomplish, get done, get started, get moving on? Take a moment to think about that. I'll do the same. And then write it in the comments. Asking yourself a question and giving yourself the space and time to listen for the answer, totally one of the most important, if not the most important part of decluttering and coaching. Okay? I love this. Judy is even saying planning for Christmas things to do has been a game changer. Okay, I love it. Clara is saying, I have people coming over tomorrow, so I'm cleaning out a bunch of surface clutter. Wonderful. My goal for the next, I'm doing the math in my head, 54 minutes, is to encourage you, to inspire you, to give you some tools you can use. And not just like, oh, here's a scrubby brush that I get a spiff from TikTok shop. I don't sell any of that crap, because the tools I want you to use are your head, your heart, and your hands. Okay? Okay? So My goal for this next 50 some odd minutes is to give you some good stuff that you can take with you long after I'm gone and not doing a TikTok live that set you up for feeling good and doing good today. And the neat thing is, I feel like these tools are kind of universal. It's like you can use, a screwdriver in the kitchen or the bathroom or anywhere in the house. When you have a good toolkit, you can use it anywhere in your home. Okay? Now, I love this because Judy is saying planning for Christmas things to do has been a game changer. All presents wrapped and all cookies baked. In the past, I was doing it Christmas Eve. Yes. So maybe seriously, you guys, what you could do, Shannon in retrograde, good morning. And those are God, you're always going to hear me introducing myself to the new people because I don't just talk to the people I know. I'm always welcoming. That's the other thing. My goal today, too, is to get what I'm saying and sharing out to more people. I want to share what I'm doing with people who don't even know that there's help out there if you're struggling with clutter. Okay? Now, I love it. Kat Roby says, oh, the foyer table, the foyer, is out of control. I mean, about to be controlled. Now, notice how Kat kind of stopped and flipped it and reversed it a la, what's her name, Missy Elliott or Pure Imagination, Willy Wonka. She stopped herself from saying one thing and she started it. And she's like, no, I want to look at it this way. Changing the words in your head changes the feelings in your heart. And when your head and your heart feel different, you will do different. That's a really overly simplistic yet seriously powerful way of looking at this stuff. So I hope to share with you guys a bunch of stuff that's going to empower you, to give you the tools to declutter, and also share this with as many people that happen to come by me here on the TikTok. So whatever we need to do to get more people knowing about this stuff, because people are finding out it's working. You know, look at what Kat Roby does. She takes this time that I set aside myself to do a TikTok live, and I almost started to, introduce myself, and then I forgot. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Kind of like you're on a road trip. Destination Decluttered. You may be cluttered right here at the beginning of your journey. By the time we're done, I want you to feel like you're a couple of steps closer. Now, I love this. Notice that feeling of the thoughts in your head, the words in your head even. Just words in your head make you feel a feeling. Ivy says, I don't say declutter. I say sharing my abundance with others. That feels good, huh? Yeah, I love it. Now, this is interesting because we all have different cycles that we work on these things. I'm an early bird and I live on the East Coast, so I tend to do my TikTok lives early in the morning, and I just basically wake up a little bit earlier. My husband, he's a night owl, but Oceanana says, your voice and words of wisdom helped me tackle something at 3:30 a.m. Now, I hope, Oceanana, you are also taking time to sleep and make sure your body's feeling up. But if you're not falling asleep, then maybe you do get up and do stuff. Now, I want to offer to you guys, too, that I want to temporarily be the voice in your head. It's so funny. I think there was a band that my husband used to play on a co-bill with. I just saw it, Voice of Reason. I want to be the voice that you hear temporarily, and then your internal voice kind of imitates it until it becomes your own. Okay? Notice, Ivy is saying, I don't say declutter. I say sharing my abundance with others. And honestly, even that mindset shift from thinking of clutter instead thinking of it as abundance. Think of it. Many times you refer to your clutter as, I just have too much. Too much. I have too much. It's not like I don't have not enough. If anything, I have too much. And that too much isn't making you feel like you thought it would. It's like when I ate too much bacon because I said I can eat as much as I want. I thought it would feel just as good. No, there is a set point that when you pass it, too much just ends up not feeling that good. So we can change that. Okay? So, yes. Okay, so Wendy M says, and actually somebody said say that again. Dee Werland, I say a lot of things, but I will say this. I don't know if this was it, but the words in your head make you feel a feeling in your heart, and when you feel a feeling in your heart, you do a thing with your hands. So I'm only tapping one side of my head right now and in my heart and using this hand because oftentimes we are thinking on the negative side of this kind of invisible line between us, okay? I always feel like the Pope or something when I'm doing this. So unhelpful thoughts make you feel discouraged, and when you feel unhelpful and discouraged, you're probably like, I'm not doing anything with my hand, or I'm hanging on to stuff. There is another side to the story, though. The rest of the story. Paul Harvey, okay? You can change your unhelpful thoughts to just more helpful, kinder. And when you have a more kind, helpful thought in your head, you're feeling a little bit better in your heart. And when you're thinking kinder thoughts and feeling better feelings, then you are doing better things with your hands. You are releasing the abundance, you are sharing, you are helping others, you're helping yourself. Okay, I'm glad I hit it. Good. Now, Wendy M., this is an important thing I want you to think of too, because this is part of it. Because Wendy M. says, your voice helps drown out the negativity, helping my own voice to be too loud to hear the negativity. Okay, that is a good approach temporarily. However, and this is what I do a lot with my coaching, and I've done it with myself. I didn't used to do this. I would only hear my voices, and I'd be, shut up. I don't want to hear you. I want to share with all of you that there is some really good information in your negative voice. Don't drown it out. Get curious about it. If you drown it out, it's going to keep on speaking up. It's, you haven't heard me, this is what I'm saying. I want you to hear it, and I want you to dismantle it. I want you to take the air out of that bubble of truth that they think they're saying. I want you to prove that voice wrong with examples and facts, and even if they're temporarily right, you can do something else with that voice. Quieting it down is different than shutting it up or drowning it out. And I use the analogy of being in a car a lot because it just resonates with me, so maybe it resonates with you because you've been a driver in a car. Maybe you've been a passenger in the car. Imagine going on the family road trip, and the person in the driver's seat, which is you, yells at the kids in the back to shut the fuck up. Okay? You scare them, you yell at them, you're mean to them, you drown them out, you turn up the radio, you don't hear them. But they're afraid, they're scared, they're freaking out back there. That's an uncomfortable energy to be in when you're on the family road trip, right? Now, this may take some time, but think about, what if you pulled over, took a deep breath, and you're like, okay, what's going on back there? And then you listened to them, you diffused the situation, they felt heard and calmed down, you felt calm, but you were still going to the place you wanted to. And then you started up your car again, and instead of being an uncomfortable quiet, because you shut them up, that everybody feels a little bit better and heard and understood. Notice how different that would feel, how better that would feel. Okay? Now, I do love this because I come up with a lot of pearls of wisdom. I do. Okay? I gotta say, I do. It's one of the things that entertains me. And I love it. Oceanana was saying, I said it to her, she said it to herself, and now sharing it with others. She says, I was struggling with something, with it. Then I remembered, just do it. It won't be as tough as you think. Okay? It won't be as tough as you think. And I don't think it was. I had to prep for a colonoscopy, people. I was dreading it. I remembered from back the last time I did it, and it was so uncomfortable and so not good. I just kept on coaching myself through the whole thing. One more sip of Gatorade, one more sip of Miralax. Oh my gosh, I'm already halfway through this 64 ounces. Oh, guess what? I only made a couple of trips. I'm being gross, but you know what I mean? I coached myself through it. And it ended up strangely not being as bad as I had remembered it. And I got through it. And even if it was temporarily uncomfortable, which I'm not going to lie, there will be some temporary discomfort when you are decluttering. Don't just know that it's going to happen so you're not freaked out by it. But know that that temporary discomfort is an investment in long-term peace of mind. Now, I know this because temporary discomfort, now I have a clean bill of health that somebody checked out my innards and said, hey, there were a few things, we dealt with them, and be on the lookout and we'll see you in 3 years. So now I feel better about what's going on instead of saying, oh my gosh, what's something wrong? You know? Now, if this is interesting, Okay, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, and she, we're all here sharing stuff. I share the stuff verbally. People write down their comments and are learning from this stuff, and then I read them mainly because if people are out decluttering their surface areas, I want them to know the context. Also, my TikTok lives are uploaded, they're recorded and uploaded to YouTube, so you can go watch them over again, have you keep you company, body doubling type of thing. But Laura says, you just taught me something by saying, listen to your negative voice. Excuse me, I'm going to burp. I realize most of my struggles with sentimental clutter deal with issues of guilt. Yes, totally notice the guilt, the story in your head that makes you feel guilty for if you try to give it away. Okay? Whoops. Hit the wrong button. Okay? So yes, notice the feeling of guilt. Now here's a fun thing though. There's the feeling of guilt and it keeps you from doing something. On the other hand, now we're on the other side. The more helpful, the more feeling. Kat Roby. Messy, dusty foyer table was for weeks. Cleared and dusted it in 4 minutes, people. 4 minutes. And it feels amazing, she says. Okay? Do you want to feel guilty or do you want to feel amazing? Anybody? Anybody? I'm on team amazing. Okay? I'm team feeling good, feeling better than I did, feeling encouraged, feeling love in my heart, feeling motivated, feeling proud, feeling accomplished. That's the team I play for, and I'm not even Sporty Spice, okay? I don't want to feel guilt. I don't want to feel shame, discouragement. No, but when I feel those things, I say, why am I feeling this way? I get curious, because curiosity is also on the team. Now I feel like Ted Lasso for some reason. Curiosity is also on this team. Why do I feel guilty? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write that stuff down. I'm going to get those thoughts and feelings out of my head and onto paper. And I'm going to notice that at the end of it, it seriously is just words strung together in sentences. That because we are humans, this tells a story. A bunch of words strung together makes a sentence. A few sentences make stories, and stories make us feel feelings. Think of if you didn't have a story behind, what if you had amnesia and none of the stuff in your house told you a story? How different it would be when you went to decide if you wanted something or not, if it didn't tell you a story. Okay? So, notice, and I'm not saying story is like a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the point at which we start. Chrissy Wolf is saying, I have a hard time because of what I paid. So because of what I paid is a story. And now I am divorced and can't replace. Okay, Chrissy, I want to help you with this, all right? Let me be very clear. Good morning, good morning. I say a lot of morning. Yes, team amazing, please. Okay. Chrissy, decluttering is not getting rid of stuff that you need to replace. Decluttering is by nature removing what you no longer want. You know this feeling because you got divorced. You decluttered your life from a spouse that wasn't working out for you anymore. Or on the flip side, maybe you were the one that was decluttered, but I am telling you, regardless, nobody wants to be in a bad relationship. Okay? But rest assured, and know what I'm doing. Right now, I am talking to your nervous system. It's like, what? But what if I need it again? I don't have the money to replace it. Fear. Notice, it's like zing. It's like a surprised porcupine. Now, I don't suggest petting a porcupine, so it's a surprised kitty. No, but what? Fear of not having what you need. Shh. It's going to be okay. Because you are always in control of what you remove from your life and what you don't. You get to decide what you keep and what you release. And I want you to feel good about the decisions you make. Okay? So just notice those words in her head make her feel a feeling. And when you feel a feeling like that, you're probably not decluttering. So your hand is just sitting there doing nothing. Or you're hanging on to stuff. Clenchy fist. Don't take that away from me. That's mine. What if I need it? Ugh. I have literally seen people, their bodies react like that. Don't take that away from me. That's mine. I've done it myself probably. Okay. I love it. Let's get to the good side here. So notice that is what's making you hang on. Let's check in with the other team, shall we? Team Amazing. Oceanana is on Team Amazing. Tiffany says, I just cleaned off my bedside table with a heart. Ah, I love it. Now, Christmas is, I love it. Mimameli72 says, Christmas is my favorite time of year. I could probably sing a song about it, but there's so many. I would be going through my fake book in my head to try to find one. Christmas is the time to say I love you. That was Billy Squire. Everybody? He's from Wellesley, Massachusetts, I think. Christmas is my favorite time of year. Notice what your favorite time of year makes you feel feelings, probably. As I decorate, I am purging and cleaning areas in my home. I love it. Now, I love this too, because notice what somebody else on Team Amazing is doing. And I just totally made that up today. It probably won't last, but it's fun, so I'm playing with it. Oceanana is on Team Amazing, and she says, I'm being more mindful of when I'm coming home from shopping to put the stuff put away right away. Now, that is an important part of keeping decluttered. Everybody always thinks, kind of like losing weight, all I need to do is lose the weight. But if you do not change your daily habits, you're going to reclutter again. You can get rid of 50 items in your home, but if you go out and shop, which you will because we have to survive here, and you don't put your stuff away, the clutter will pile up again. Get in the habit. Practice the habit. Create a neural pathway that moves your body to say, this is how we do it here. When we come home from the shop, we take the things out of the box and or the bag and we put them away. Being more mindful, more demure, okay? And being more mindful, and I'm talking to my ADHD people and you regular folk who also get in a bit of a tiz during the busyness of the holiday, is slowing down the speed with which you're driving forward just enough to allow yourself to be mindful. It doesn't have to take you a million years. I'm just saying, instead of driving 75 miles an hour, you take your foot off the gas just a little bit and cruise around at 55, and suddenly your brain is able to think because it's not in fight or flight or I got to get there and it's got to... Shh. Take your foot off the gas. Just let yourself slow down just a little bit until you can say, oh, that's right. This is what we do. And notice my hand goes from being like a foot on the gas pedal to kind of a little traffic cop hand. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Okay? There we go. Rowan Creative says, I sent my ex all of the pics of him I still had and the recipes that his mother hand wrote for me. Yeah. Nobody wants evidence. We all know. I know this because I was divorced. We don't need any physical evidence of bad times to remind us of the bad times. The bad times or the unhelpful times, they live in our body. I will know on my deathbed that I was married in the early 90s. The good news is that I have a much more long-lasting, wonderful relationship that I could rave on about, that I will be for the rest of my life. That's what I choose to remember. Occasionally it will pop up, oh, that's right, in 92, remember? Oh, yeah, I don't need the reminders. I have this to remind me of those things. Okay? All right, so Nana's Girl, I think you and Laura Gibbon Voorhees might want to talk about the guilt. Nana's Girl, I have trouble getting rid of things my children gave me even though I no longer use it. Now, this is where I would be with my clients. Fold the paper in half, write down, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid is going to happen if you declutter, if you share your abundance, not declutter, if you share your abundance with somebody else and the abundance happens to come from your kids? What are you afraid of? And I say this because seriously, wicked easy. This is where I start a lot of this stuff for myself. Is again, I'm being the Pope right here, but I'm drawing a line right here. On this one side, it's not the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, okay? Ah, Father, who art in heaven. It's my Boston accent, going back to Catholic school. Actually, more like CCD. Really church. But I digress. On the one hand, the unhelpful and the guilt and the not feeling good, that's fear. Wicked easy. Team fear, team love. Those are better, more long-lasting. Okay, what are you afraid is going to happen if you have the thing that somebody gave you and you give it to somebody else? Whatever comes up when I say that, write it down. Okay? All right. Danielle's got a kitty, olive juice everywhere. Yes, and you're learning the hard way. Danielle left a jar of olives on the table last night and my crazy kitten knocked them off. Olive juice everywhere. I need to put it away right when I get home. Yeah, it makes it easier to have a clean house. There we go, 1138. Happy Thursday, and thank you. You're welcome. Okay, Old Timer 101. When I put things away, I forget where they are and I go crazy trying to find them help. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Is this a pop-up? I don't see it on the calendar. Let me see. I will check. It might be. I mean, I've been known to pop up and have a party. Thursday's December 19th at 9 a.m. It's on the calendar, silly. You might need to refresh, okay? I have all my TikTok lives just for everybody real quick, and thank you for offering that. Jellybee, one is my TikTok lives are scheduled from now until the end of the year. They are on the place where the people who are on my mailing list can access that, okay? So I recommend this to you. You might have screenshotted. Do not take a fixed picture of the schedule or that place where those things are. See how secret-y I'm being? It's like the secret club. You want to join the secret club? It's free. It's awesome people. DestinationDecluttered.com. Scroll to the bottom. Sign up for the mailing list. You're in the club. Okay? Do not screenshot this. Where I do it's a live thing. A schedule is a live living organism. So yeah, I'm looking there and I literally see Thursday, December 19th all the way to Tuesday, Tuesday, December 31st. Okay. But to get back to Old Timer 101, when I put things away, I forget where they are and go crazy trying to find them help. Okay, let me ask you this. What speed are you driving forward when you're putting those things away? Are you being intentional with where you're putting it away? And I don't mean like, oh, look at me. I'm putting my mug into the thing. No, but do you have a home that your brain knows this is where those things live? If you don't, that's where I suggest you start. Now, I know you have homes. I would assume, and I'm making an assumption here, that you have homes for some things in your house. Notice the connection. When you have established this is where these things go, you can practice that habit, and then your body automatically will just do it. Your body will automatically open up the fridge door and put the stuff that goes to the fridge in the fridge. Your body will open up the drawer and put the silverware in this drawer and the utensils in the drawer below. Okay? When you think that you can't find anything when it's away, you stop putting things away and you don't practice that habit. Okay? Now, Penny Lex says, are you saying I digress? Yes. Okay. Rach says, and this is very good. Rach says, I'll forget that memory is what I'm afraid of. I'm not saying forget the good memories. Hell no. I keep souvenirs of good times and not the TV show, but it had a rockin' TV, it had a theme song. I'm not saying forget the good stuff. I'm saying minimize, fade out the bad stuff. The stuff that doesn't work. And that's sentimental items, Rach, too. You are already at the heart of the deepest level of clutter. So much of what people are struggling with doesn't even need to get down to that level. It can be solved by better habits on the surface and better habits about storage. Surface, stored, sentimental. Okay? So there we go. Mosey says, let's tap, tap, tap and get her likes up and get out in front of people. Okay. Okay, I don't want them to think I didn't appreciate the gift. Yeah? Okay, so you did appreciate it. Now, this is where I fold a piece of paper in half. I don't want them to think that I didn't appreciate it. I hope you expressed your appreciation when you got it. But you tried it out and it didn't work. Gifts are just a best guess effort. They thought you might like it. They thought of you when they saw it. They bought it for you. There's all sorts of lovely things about a gift giving. Sometimes the gift is just the excuse to say to somebody, hey, I was thinking about you. There we go, Jellybee. Refresh the secret page. Yeah, that one persona says I have a link to the schedule on my home screen. Ooh, Wendy M. Okay, Team Love versus Team Fear. Team Love, you know what we do on Team Love? Unloaded towels from the dryer, folded and put away instead of chucking it into a corner. Notice what you did. You did something different. How does that feel now to be like, check me out. I folded my towels. And how good is it going to feel when you go to take a shower and you pull a nice clean folded sheet off of the towel off of the surface. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my words, but I'm going to get it. The shelf. Nice, clean, folded, fresh towel off of the shelf. Notice I'm practicing the right words to remind myself of them and not freak out that I'm suddenly get Alzheimer's. How good it will feel in the future from you spending the microseconds of time to fold those things up. Okay? Carla Jane, good morning. I will see you in a few. Always a pleasure. Now, I'm backing up here. Okay. So, Judy says, in the past, notice the difference. We are being time travelers here, kind of like Scrooge, past, present, future. In the past, I made foods for Christmas that needed to be made the morning of. This year, so that was the past. Now I am, if anybody gets this reference, you're my kind of people. I'm Mr. Big from Big Time Records. Okay? So in the past, I used to do this. Now, this year, Judy says, I'm making things I can make ahead of time. Yay for scheduling. And you know what that's doing for future Judy? Future Judy, this time next week, you're going to be just lazing around totally enjoying the holiday season because you did this stuff now. So you are investing. This is totally, you guys, I'm all about investing. That's how you make good stuff happen. Investing a small amount of time now doing it will increase your enjoyment of something later. Okay, yes, Wendy M., this is a gift of less stress you are giving yourself. Okay, now Alice Schaefer says, I need to get on the declutter train today, so glad you are alive. It will push me to get going. Now, I like to give you, I remember some lady calling it like a loving shove, just a little nudge, but unless you sustain it, it's almost like pushing a little kid when they're riding a bike. Unless you learn how to pedal or drive yourself, it's not going to work. So I endeavor to share with you the tools that will keep you going long after the initial push of this TikTok Live fades, you know? Now I love it. 1138 says, like you, I scaled back putting decorations out this year. Happy with less, even though items were tradition. Yeah, so I seriously did what I suggested, and it felt really good. I put out some stuff, and I actually realized I have a few more things to place. They're just staged right now, but I'm going to finish the decorating. But there was a tote that I opened up. Then instead of going like, oh, look at my stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't even feel like opening this up. So you know what I did? I closed it up, and I took a piece of painter's tape, and I said, Christmas smalls, check in Christmas 2025, and I have my husband put them back down the basement. I feel good about what I did, and I'm not beating myself up about for what I didn't. Okay? Yeah. Well, this is true. Nana's Girl. I love them. I just don't use it. I'm tired of all these small things sitting all over the place. Notice that. You are allowed to be tired of stuff. You are allowed to not want little things all over the place. Notice what you're doing by saying what you don't want and what you don't like is you are also in opposite land creating your destination. I don't want to live in a home. I want to live in a home that doesn't have small things all over the place, that I have clear surfaces. Sounds good to me, you know? And I love this too. Yeah, this is going to, yep, same time, just different day, Carla Jane. Yeah, and thank you so much because I was busy recovering from my colonoscopy, you know? Now I love this. Wendy M. brings up a really good point too. So Wendy took the time, and I say that kind of in air quotes, to fold the towels as opposed to throwing them in the corner. It really wasn't that long. Pay attention. You guys, this is where I like to talk about those different voices in your head that get you to move forward or kind of lag behind or slow your roll. Your backseat driver is what I call the voice in your head that tells you to not do it, that it's going to take too much time. Everybody, when your brain automatically offers up, I don't have time for that, just be like, are you sure? Let me just check my calendar. Okay? Oftentimes you do have time, but you're in the habit of thinking and feeling in that freaking out time. I don't have time. Bread and milk, eggs and milk. Oh my God, it's going to storm. When you slow down, when you put your foot off the gas and say, wait a minute. I kind of like that. Foot on the gas and you're easing up on the gas and you just pause for a sec. Do I have time to do that? probably will take barely 4 minutes. Okay? And I love this. Wendy M is also giving herself a future hug, my future self a hug, by doing a task that will be kind to myself. Right. Yeah. Good stuff, you guys. Judy's kitchen is not going to be a mess on Christmas Day. Wendy M is saying you're just making new traditions. Yes. Traditions to me should be flexible. The tradition should be feeling good on the holiday. You know? Yeah. And here, Carla Jane is offering. I can't tell you how many things I held on to for fear of hurting them, but it ended up hurting me. You know? Yep. I love it. Notes. I'm all about notes and labels. Wendy M says leaving notes on why something was put in a place is great too. Yes, I actually am totally going to do this next year. So work with me here because this might help you. So one of the things my husband and I do when we decorate for the holidays is we take a big painting off the wall. It's over here just leaning up against the wall in this room. And we put a smaller but holiday painting up. It's a painting that has a good story behind it and we like it, so we put it up. Now, when we did that this year, it takes up less room than the big one. Excuse me. I noticed that there was this errant nail in the wall that was covered up by the big one. And so I said, oh, take that nail out of the wall, right? Then when I went to later decorate, I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot that nail was there to hang this one decoration on. So then I had to put another nail on it. What I'm doing with that this year, seriously, because nobody's going to see it, I'm going to take, again, a little strip of painter's tape. And I'm going to, as we replace these things, when I'm putting away my Christmas stuff, I'm going to take a picture of where all of my decor has been placed, decorated, so that the next time I go to decorate, I know the good place for those things to go. I will take a picture of that thing that hangs on that thing that hangs on the thing, the little vintage record thing that hangs on that nail, so that next year when I go to decorate, I will also check on the Christmas pictures from this year so that I remind myself of where I put those things so they have homes. It makes it easier to me when certain things go in certain places. Now, I love it. Kat Roby, my husband and I, this is funny. Oops, I backed up and I lost it. Here, sorry, I lost it. Okay. My hubby and I just sweetly realized that we can both see the dust and either of us can tend to it. Yes. Yes. A real realization. Yes. Depends on where the light is hitting it. This is why, to me, I tend to shut down from decorating or cleaning in the at night because I can't see any of the dust. But man, I go out on a sunny day like this, I look underneath, dust buffaloes. Okay, a team to keep the home tidy. Yes. All right, Judy says, I am guilty of huge piles of laundry to fold. Judy, I'm absolving you of your guilt. Do not feel guilty about it. Judy and Wendy M. There we go. I love this. Wendy M says, Beth helped me clean out my closet, so I had a place to put once the piles were everywhere. Okay, this is funny because Wendy M and I don't really know each other, but somehow me being here helped her. So Judy, I'll offer this to you. Instead of feeling guilt, throw off the chains of guilt. Totally unhelpful feeling. It's making you feel like, wah, wah, sad trombone. How about this? Judy, we got 20 minutes on this TikTok Live. Why don't you stop the guilt and start the folding? Do not be judgy. Have some fun. We're all hanging out here. What if we were all folding laundry right now? Anybody else want to fold laundry with Judy? Keep her company? I would, but I'm busy kind of doing this thing. But you're not alone. Just start to fold your laundry. Even if you currently don't have a place to put it, it's going to look better and feel better having it laundered and folded. The other thing too is, this is a really important part of decluttering too, is categorizing. So notice when you are folding your clothes, maybe you then also categorize them. Here is my pile of t-shirts. Here is my pile of yoga pants. Here is my pile of underpants. Here is my pile of hoodies. Here is my pile of my husband's long johns or whatever. You can be doing some things that's going to make it easier for you to do the dressing of your clothes. And also, here's how all this is all kind of interplayed. You may not see these connections, but I see connections all the time. It's how my brain is wired. But notice that you may not have a place to put the clothes you're currently wearing, aka your laundry, because that real estate, the drawers and behind the doors of a closet, is currently being squatted on by clothes you don't even wear. So as you do that, get curious. Again, no guilt, no judgment. This is team love over here, okay? We are on curiosity and problem solving and non-judgment. We are here with encouragement. Get curious about, and I just helped a client with this, an hour ago. When you look in your closet, notice what thoughts go on in your head. If they are unhelpful, write them down. Get them out. Nobody wants an unhelpful thought in their head. Get it out of your head, down on paper, and realize that these are the things that are stopping you. If it's overwhelm, we calm down the body. If it's, I've got too much, well, let's chunk it down. There are things you can do to get you decluttering so that doing laundry is easier, because when you're done with it, you have space to put it, okay? Now, you may not see the relationship to these things, but I see it all over the place. That's why I show up and do these TikTok lives, to show you that there is a pattern behind what you're doing, that there is a process that you are using. At the very simple terms, there is a process that goes on in your life that is not at the end of that little manufacturing order of operations. The result is not something you want. It's like you started a machine and you did these steps and you're coming out with a little poop as opposed to a little Hershey's Kiss, okay? Now, I love this. You guys, this is so cool. Judy's going to start now. So notice, at any moment, with every breath you take, you can change what you think and what you do just like that. Please do not wait until the new year. Oh, I can't even, but I'll wait till the new year. You can do that. I'm not going to say you can't, but what I say is if you start now, you're going to be so much more ahead of the game while the new year comes. And you haven't built it up to say, oh, I'm going to still do these things. I do this myself. Do not get me wrong. But starting, just undoing the guilt right now is going to make you feel good right now. You're not delaying the good feeling you get from decluttering until the new year. Okay? Now, I love it. You can also put a stick-it note next to the nail and write up for Christmas. Mimi Mel, I thought of that too, but then I thought, you know what? I will actually, the pictures are going to be better, and I'll share this with you because then I will also remember what goes on it. And then what I will do is I will just put a note. This is the sticky note I will put is on my digital 2025 calendar. I will put on like Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving, I will put a reminder to say, look at the pictures I took of 2024 Christmas decorations to refresh my memory as to what I put out last year. Okay? All right, Pop-Tart Mama, you're doing something that many people do, so I'm going to repeat it to share it to help you and help other people. Pop-Tart Mama 19 says, I noticed last night. So good. Noticing is so good. Yay for noticing. That I am moving piles from one place to another. It's a bad cycle. So notice something that's making you feel bad, okay? Clara is also going to start with Judy folding anybody else. I just noticed that. But here, Pop-Tart Mama. When you are moving things from one place to another, you know what you're missing? The most important part of decluttering is decision-making. Decluttering is decision-making. So notice if you're just shifting things from one place to another and it doesn't feel good, that's because you're not taking a thing from where it doesn't belong and putting it into its home. You are just moving something without making a decision. And you may be like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. That's your nervous system being all, I don't know. Let's calm that down and chunk it down. Think of one thing, and this is chunking down. Pop-Tart Mama, you think of all the things that you have moved from one place to another. Pick one thing from one pile and make a decision on one thing and do something different with it. Decide if you want to keep it and then decide where its home is. Decide that you don't want to keep it and decide what container it goes into to get it out of your house. Okay? Now, I love it. This is such a wonderful holiday gift to me because just in case any of you don't know this, I work with clients one-on-one. I do paid coaching. Real quick, for those of you, again, not on the mailing list because you wouldn't have gotten my mailer, but I am not doing any more coaching consultations between now and the next year because I have travel and my own holiday stuff going on. But at the beginning of the year, I'm doing that. I do one-on-one coaching. I get paid by clients all over the country to help them specifically. But it's always fun to realize that what I do on these TikTok lives can empower you, even if we never technically work one-on-one. It's all about you taking it and doing something with it. And I say this because Stacy Babbage says, Beth helped me clean out my hanging clothes. And I'm thinking, oh, I did? Moved items not fitting to a different area, and it was life-changing. There we go. Now, I love this. Kat Roby is also on the laundry folding thing. So I love it. What else do we have here? Yes, Kat Roby says, oh yeah, I said I was going to fold laundry. Squirrel. And bed is made and dishwasher is empty. You can notice you said something and you can course correct, but you can also celebrate what you did. Bed is made, dishwasher empty. Kat Roby, high five. Actually, 2 of them, so a high 5-10. Wendy M says, over Thanksgiving, I cleaned out my closet that had been a junk drawer. It's back to a closet now. I love it. Now, Jelly B says, when an entire room needs cleaning, where do you start and how do you finish? You start with something that bugs you. You end when nothing in your room bugs you. Now, that's a bit, it's true. Do not, trust me, I do not lie. That is how it works, but it may be, that's too easy. But sometimes the answer can be easy. What I would say, Jelly B, calm down your nervous system and chunk down the room. Start with one thing that bugs you, make a decision on it. Lather, rinse, repeat. If that one thing in all those decisions is exhausting, batch it. What do I mean by batching it? By making a bunch of decisions about one category. What do I want to do with all of those sweaters that I don't wear? Calm it down and chunk it down. Yes, and I can store the pictures under iPhone Note called Christmas Decor. Exactly. Hey, I love it. Oceanana. Let's give her a celebration. She came up with this idea of how to remove some of the clutter for her house that's actually going to help a friend. She's on her way to give a friend 5 bags of items for her rentals. You know what's wonderful about that? In this season of giving, which to me the season of giving should be year-round, is that she has too much. She is giving some of her too much to somebody who doesn't have enough, and they're both feeling more at the just right mark. The neat thing is, when Oceanana gets home today, she's going to have 5 fewer bags of stuff in her home. Her home is going to feel spacious by 5 bags worth, and she's going to feel good about how she got those things out of her house. Okay? So, notice this stuff. Yay. I love it. Yay. Carla Jane says, I am making a huge difference in, and I got to pronounce it. See how it's spent today on our trip, our trip, because I always think of coaching as a road trip. You're going to help me pronounce the town you live in. Sylacauga, Alabama. And that's my Boston accent. It's going to be wicked fun. Okay? That's going to be on our thing. So remind me. All right? So, yes. Such good stuff, you guys. Okay? I want you to think of this. Let me give you some good stuff. Okay? I love it. Kara says it's warmish up there. It's been warmish down here too in PA, and now I feel better. I cannot wait to take a shower, to get out, to walk around, to move my body, because I've allowed myself to herkle-durkle. And notice, too much herkle-durkling, you can Google it. I'm sure it's here on TikTok, but just too much hanging around and doing nothing. After a while, feels good. Sometimes it feels good, and then you're like, no, I want to get up and do something. So Kara is taking advantage of the fact that it is warm up in Mass, and she's going out to the garage, you know? What can you take advantage of today? Do you have time in your schedule that you could do some decluttering that would make you feel good? You know? Do you have energy that you could then harness to do that? When you don't have time or energy, it's really hard to do anything. So if you don't have time or energy right now, I highly recommend spending some time decluttering your life. This is why I'm Beth, the Destination Decluttering Life Coach. Decluttering your life to get you time and get you energy to then do the things. Okay? But notice what we're saying. It's like Wendy M is saying, you can do it and your future self will thank you. Now, speaking of your future self, I'm totally going to pause the coaching here for a sec to give a total commercial break. Because one thing we did in the past, just last weekend and the weekend before, was I created this thing from somebody else's suggestion, somebody here on a TikTok or one of my clients, a thing called a decluttering party. Now, everything I want to do is fun like a party, but we have fun and we get stuff done, okay? That's my role. We have fun and we get stuff done. These decluttering parties were a bunch of us from the mailing list. It's the only way you get the invite is so I can mail it to you. We showed up on Zoom at a certain day, certain time for a certain amount of time. Notice the boundaries, okay, the specifics. We then picked something we wanted to declutter, and then I set the timer and we all went and decluttered together. Declutter to forever together to part. Maybe Rick Bassley will show up. I don't know. But I say this because that time was an investment in an hour and a half-ish that I know paid dividends to everybody who was on that thing. They felt more connected. They felt less alone. They were more encouraged. They were more inspired. And not just all those good feelings in theory, they put those good feelings to action as energy to do stuff. Now, I say this because that's what we did a couple of weeks ago. And talk about feeling good is these decluttering parties had a ticket price, a ticket at the door. You don't have a ticket, you don't get into the party. But when you go in and do it, immediately 50% of the ticket price went to a fund. I collected them up and then I donated money to the local women's shelter in my town. Now, I did this because, think about it, we have too much. Us cluttered people have too much, and there are some people that don't have enough. You help your person by decreasing your clutter, you increase them by giving them something they could really use. Suddenly, so much of us are better. I was able to donate on your behalf. You are part of this. If you were at any of these decluttering parties, you made this happen. $600. $600 to a local, tiny, small town women's shelter. These women didn't even know this money was coming to them. We're going to do that every single time I do a declutter party. It's just going to be the thing. So sometimes it may feel like, oh, I can't spend the money on myself or whatever. Yeah, it's about you. So get comfortable spending time and money on yourself. But if it makes it feel easier and better and good to spend money and know it's going to a good cause, it is. Okay, now I say that because we did that in the past. I'm telling you about it now because in January, I'm doing another 4 of these. When I'm able to do multiples of them, I like to do multiples so people can show up more than once. And if you can only make one, that I have given you the opportunity. If you're on the mailing list, you know when they'll be. They're going to be the first 2 weekends, basically, just in time for you to put away Christmas decor. So if you want to put away Christmas decor with other people, but also I'm going to tack on an extra free half hour where we're going to do some beginning of the year, kind of road mapping of the year, setting yourself up for what do I want to happen this year? What do I want my home to look like, feel like, function? We're going to spend some time making a plan before we even hit the road. If that sounds fun and interesting to you, we had fun, it was interesting, it was a good time, make sure you are on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. And how you get on that is Destination Decluttered, destinationdecluttered.com. You get to my website, you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see a big form that says put your email address here. You put your email address there, you hit I'm not a robot, boom, you're on the mailing list. I will make sure you get the invites to the parties, okay? So that was totally to make sure you knew that there was some good stuff coming up, okay? So here we are. Oh, this is cool. Wendy M. Wendy M says the Zoom party was great. I felt the community and carried that into the rest of the day. Yeah. Now that's another cool thing. Notice that when you have a feeling, you can keep it with you for the rest of the day and it can be a different feeling. If you feel stinky for the rest of the day, if you want to carry that through, you're going to walk forward smelling like a fart. But a good feeling has a long-lasting shelf life much past the time you invest in it. I say this because you and I have 5 minutes on this TikTok Live, and if I've done my job correctly, you're going to come off of this TikTok Live feeling good, feeling calmed down and encouraged. You're going to feel like some of the stuff that you thought was too much feels doable. You're going to feel like, I can do this, I can start, I'm not alone. Other people are struggling with clutter. That's okay. If they can do it, so can I. Notice these better thoughts in your head make you feel better here. And when you're feeling better in your head and your heart, your hand is going to do something. It's going to write down a list of things to do. It's going to put some of those things on your calendar. It's going to make a call to somebody to be like, hey, you want my stuff? It's going to Google, where can I drop this stuff off? It's going to allow you to do so many things. Okay? Now, Ms. Seashell says, talk about it. The Zoom was good. I tackled something I was putting off. Wendy M said, same. My work desk needed attention, and it looks and feels better. Yeah. Lady V is asking, how can I stop caring about my things? I want to be a minimalist, but it's hard for me. Lady V, I highly recommend that you don't think about stop caring about all my things. That's way too general. You don't gotta do a damn thing. Get curious about the things you care about and notice the different energy frequency with the stuff you don't really care about. That's a lot of the decision making. Now, if you look at my home, I am not minimalist, but I really enjoy and love and like the things that I have in my life. I have very few, if any, items that bug me and I don't like them. That's what decluttering is about. Okay? So, hey, this is cool. Okay. Cat Mama says, been trying to join for 20 minutes. I'm late, but TikTok is so wonky. It is. And also, speaking of TikTok being so wonky, seriously, if TikTok goes away, I can't do TikTok lives. So where are we going to meet? Where do you want to find me? I'm going to ask that of the people on my mailing list, and we will hang out. And if you want to know where we're meeting, if TikTok goes blank, get on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. Okay? So, I love this. Clara's laundry is folded. Now, I'm not hearing from, unless you just tuned in right now. There we go. YouTube Live. Okay, good to know, Kat Roby. I'll probably take a poll. I enjoy the TikTok, so the longer it sticks around, I will probably do YouTube Live since my TikToks are already recorded. Yep. So, there we go. Yeah, Star Queen, I don't blame you for not missing the early ones. Yes, and we do need another place to meet. We will. But I can only let you know where we're meeting if I have the way to communicate with you. Okay? So I say this because notice the things you can do to invest in the future you want. If you like to hear what I'm saying, you get on my free mailing list. And I make it free and I make it easy and I give you lots of free stuff. So to encourage you to do it. So there's that. What else? Judy, you may not be done with your laundry, but you are more close to being done with it than if you hadn't started at all. And I love it. Kat Roby is also doing the laundry. Laundry coming together. I'm giving it a quick steam spin to the last load. I love it. Yep. Judy's piles are folded, you guys. High five to Judy. You know why we're high-fiving her? Because she stopped feeling guilty and started doing something that made her feel better. I'm hoping it feels better. Judy, how does it feel? Feel better? You feeling better? That's what I'm all about. Right? See, Pop Top Mama says, this is my community. I love it here. Yay. Yes, and laundry will always be there for you. And people are giving you high fives, Judy. I'm telling you, it's really fun. Clutter will always be there until you do something with it. So if it's something like laundry or dishes or paperwork, let's find a cycle, a habit that works for you so there's no hate, there's no drama. You just kind of do it. Oh, now this is interesting. I just got a thing from TikTok. The number of your comments hit an all-time high in 30 days. Brilliant. Yes, and of course, it's right about when I'm signing off. Now, I will say this. There will be a TikTok Live tomorrow. Now, I'm going to be coy because I do want you to get on the mailing list. In case TikTok decides to go boom tomorrow, I could immediately pivot and say, you guys, we're meeting over here. There is one tomorrow, and then there won't be for a few days, and there will be, and there won't be for a few days, and there will be. If you like this community on TikTok, hop on my mailing list, okay? Hop on my mailing list, okay? DestinationDecluttered.com. Follow the bouncing ball. All you need to do is scroll to the bottom of the webpage and sign up, okay? Now, I love this. Gail washed the dishes. That one persona gave a virtual high five to anyone that got stuff done or is going to get stuff done today. Kat Roby calls it her scheduled Beth Blinders. Pop Tart loves doing the dishes. I think about it as playing in the water. I'm such a kid. I like it too. And then one persona says I hate them. I see it as playing in the dirty water, food water. So maybe you put on some gloves. Maybe you put on some gloves, just saying. All right, well, we already hit the 10:01 mark. I know I started a minute late, so now we are kind of a nice even hour. Catherine says it's an awesome community. Beth's positive, fun energy motivates us to move. And you guys motivate me to show up and do these things. And one of the things I want you to practice too is boundaries on your time. Okay? So I put a little boundary. I put a parenthesis and I do it and then the end parenthesis. And now I'm going to sign off with love for you and me so I can do some stuff because I've got some stuff I want to do in my life and I know you do too. Okay? So I will see you the next time I do a TikTok live. If you want to know when to sign in, get on the mailing list. You'll get the link to know where to look for the schedule. Okay? And Wendy is wishing everyone a great day. I'm going to wish the same, and I'm going to have a great day myself, and I hope you do too. And let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, and let's get it done. DestinationDecluttered.com. Ta-da!